Something about today carries a different kind of pull, like your energy is shifting, opening, calling something closer. So let's lean into that. This isn't just a surface-level love message. This is about the kind of connection that feels fated, the kind you don't just meet, you recognize. The energy that shows up first is the moon, and it's not quiet, it's consuming. This person doesn't just see you, they feel you. To them, you're not simple or predictable. You're layered, intense, almost like a story that keeps unfolding the more they look at you, and that's exactly what has them hooked. You awaken something in them they can't logically explain. It's curiosity mixed with desire, intrigue mixed with a slight sense of being overwhelmed, in the best way. You make them question things, feel things, notice things about themselves they hadn't before. That kind of impact isn't easy to walk away from. And then comes the Six of Wands energy, and this shifts everything into something powerful and real, because this isn't just obsession or curiosity. This is admiration with depth. This person doesn't just want you, they respect you. They see your strength, your individuality, your presence, and it genuinely inspires them. Being connected to you feels like a win to them, not in an ego-driven way, but in a soul-level way, like out of everything, somehow you are the one they get to stand beside, and that matters to them more than they can easily put into words. What's striking here is the balance, your mystery and clarity at the same time. You pull them in emotionally, but you also make them want to rise, to match you, to be worthy of your energy. That's rare. Most connections don't carry both intrigue and respect, but this one does. So just sit with that for a moment. Let it land. This is a collective message, so take what resonates deeply and let the rest fade away. Your intuition already recognizes if this energy belongs in your story. Before we begin interpreting the remaining cards, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so right now. As you all know, we have never launched a membership program on any of our channels, nor have we ever offered any form of personal readings or private consultations, services through which people typically generate personal income from their subscribers, as is the common practice elsewhere. Everything provided on this channel is made available to you completely free of charge. This is precisely why, despite not having uploaded a single video yet, we have successfully crossed the milestone of over 200 subscribers. And I assure you that, in the future as well, I will never charge you for anything whatsoever. My only request to all of you is that you help us reach the 20,000 subscriber mark on this channel, just as you did with our previous channel. To achieve this, I will rely entirely on your subscriptions. I ask nothing else of you, simply that you subscribe to this channel. All right, I won't take up any more of your time now. Let's quickly move on to the first card. There's a powerful presence entering your energy right now, and it doesn't feel uncertain or hesitant. The moment King of Wands appears, it brings in someone who is naturally confident, bold, and very clear about what they want. This isn't the type of person who overthinks or holds themselves back for too long. When something captures their attention, they move toward it. And right now, that focus is on you. What they feel goes far beyond surface-level attraction. Yes, they're drawn to your physical presence, but what truly pulls them in is your energy, your mindset, your creativity, and the way you carry yourself without needing validation. There's a self-assured quality about you that feels rare, and it makes you stand out without even trying. As the Star and the Queen of Swords come through together, it reveals something even deeper about how they see you. To them, you're someone who naturally shines. You don't compete for attention, yet it finds you anyway. There's an effortless glow in your presence, but at the same time, you're not easily accessible. You have strong boundaries, and you're intentional about who you allow into your life. You don't open up to just anyone, and that selectiveness speaks volumes. It tells them that your energy is valuable, and that being close to you is something that must be earned. And instead of being intimidated, they respect you for it. Then comes the Ace of Wands, and this is where the energy intensifies. There's a spark here that feels alive, something exciting, almost electric. It's not just curiosity, it's a genuine desire to explore what this connection could become. There's passion, there's interest, and there's a sense that something new is beginning. When we look deeper into what they find so captivating about you, the World and the Eight of Wands add another layer. You come across as someone who has evolved, someone who has closed old chapters and stepped into a more complete version of yourself. There's wisdom in your energy, a sense of growth and self-awareness that can't be faked. And at the same time, there's movement here. Things don't feel slow or stuck. There's momentum building, like this connection is meant to unfold quickly. This person isn't going to stay on the sidelines for long. The energy strongly suggests communication, action, and forward movement. They will reach out, they will make their presence known, and they won't leave you guessing for too long. There's a deeper layer to your energy that you might not even realize. Your presence draws people in without effort. The Two of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, and Three of Swords together suggest something subtle but powerful. Not everyone who notices you gets close to you, and that in itself creates longing. People admire you quietly, sometimes from a distance, wishing they had access to your attention. But you're not scattered, you're focused. Your energy is directed toward your growth, your vision, your goals, and that focus alone makes you even more desirable. There's something undeniably creative and expressive about you, highlighted by the Ace of Wands and Star. You don't just think, you create. You take ideas, emotions, and imagination and transform them into something real and impactful. Whether it's through art, words, content, or expression, you have a way of turning what exists within you into something others can see and feel. And that ability is rare. It's magnetic. It pulls people in because it carries authenticity and vision. And this person, they feel it deeply. The King of Wands energy represents someone who is confident, action-oriented, and decisive. They don't approach lightly. When they feel drawn to something or someone, they move with intention, and with you, that intention is strong. There's a readiness in them to step forward, to take initiative, and to pursue what they feel. In fact, there's even a sense that they would willingly step away from distractions or other options just to focus on you, because they recognize your value isn't ordinary. When we follow the energy through the Eight of Wands, Two of Cups, and Four of Cups, it becomes even clearer. This person sees you as someone who has choices, someone who could easily attract many connections. But what they truly want is to be the one you choose, not casually, not halfway, but in a real, mutual, emotionally grounded connection, something that feels balanced, reciprocal, and meaningful. With the Chariot, their energy becomes focused and determined. They want movement. They want progress. And with Temperance, there's a sense that this connection is not random. It's unfolding with alignment, timing, and purpose. It feels like something that comes together naturally, not forced. But what makes this even more powerful is the transformation you trigger within them. Your presence doesn't just attract them, it inspires them. When they see you, they feel motivated to grow, to evolve, to become better. You represent a standard, a level, and they feel pulled to rise to meet it. They see your intelligence, your creativity, your strength, and instead of feeling intimidated, they feel driven. And for some of you, this person isn't just anyone. They're someone who already walks a similar path. Someone who is driven, focused, and aware of their own purpose, which makes this connection feel even more intense, more aligned, and far more meaningful than anything casual. There's a very real sense of expansion surrounding this connection, like something in your life is opening up in a way that goes beyond surface-level attraction. This feels like a dynamic where two strong individuals come together, not to complete each other, but to enhance each other. There's potential here for something powerful, something built on mutual respect, shared growth, and a natural balance of give and take. When you're both aligned, it doesn't feel like effort. It feels like alignment, like everything simply clicks into place. The person stepping into your energy doesn't move carelessly. Their approach is thoughtful, observant, and highly intentional. They're paying attention to more than just what you show on the surface. They're studying your patterns, your energy, your reactions, the way you carry yourself. There's a quiet patience in them, like they understand that something valuable shouldn't be rushed. When they finally choose to act, it won't feel impulsive. It will feel grounded, certain, and backed by a clear sense of purpose. This isn't someone testing the waters. They already feel the depth. They're just waiting for the right moment to step fully in. At the core of this connection is a strong mental and communicative bond, strongly influenced by air energy, linked to Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This person isn't just drawn to your presence. They're drawn to your mind. The way you think, the way you interpret situations, the way you transform ideas into something meaningful. That's what captures them. They don't just want small talk or surface-level interaction. They want depth. They want conversations that challenge them, expand them, and make them see the world differently. What makes this even more powerful is that this person isn't lacking in their own identity. They have their own creativity, their own strengths, and their own sense of direction. But there may have been a phase in their life where things felt repetitive, like they were moving, but not necessarily being inspired. A sense of emotional or mental stagnation may have crept in, even if everything looked fine on the outside. Then you come into the picture, and something within them reawakens. You bring a kind of energy that reignites curiosity. You make things feel new again. With you, life doesn't feel predictable. It feels alive. Around you, this person feels mentally engaged in a way they haven't experienced in a long time. Ideas don't just stay ideas. They start flowing, expanding, evolving. There's a natural rhythm between you, where thoughts move freely and understanding comes without forcing it. It feels like two minds that naturally align, creating something dynamic without effort. At the same time, there's a strong sense that this person wants to be more than just someone passing through your life. They want to support you, to stand beside you, and to contribute to your growth in a meaningful way. But what's interesting is that this is not one-sided. They don't just admire you, they are influenced by you. You activate something in them that pushes them to think bigger, aim higher, and reconnect with their own sense of purpose. There's a subtle but powerful shift unfolding in this connection, something that feels less like coincidence and more like alignment. It's not loud or rushed, but it carries weight. It feels like two paths that were separate for a while are now being guided toward each other, not by force, but by timing. What's happening on their side is a process of release. This person is beginning to consciously let go of what no longer supports their growth. That could mean old habits, outdated patterns, or even connections that no longer resonate with who they're becoming. This isn't an easy process for them. It requires awareness and courage. But what's driving that willingness to change is the pull they feel toward you. Your energy represents something different, something more aligned. And on a deeper level, they recognize that if they want to be part of your world, they need to meet you at your level. At the same time, what you've been waiting for is beginning to take form. There's an energy here of things aligning in the right way, at the right time, almost like something that was once distant is now slowly moving closer. This isn't forced or hurried. It feels natural, like pieces falling into place after a long period of preparation. For some of you, this could be something you've quietly hoped for or envisioned for a long time, a connection that feels real, emotionally grounded, and meaningful. There's a strong sense of familiarity between you and this person, not in a surface-level way, but in the way your minds operate, the way you approach life, and the way you express yourself. There's a shared rhythm here. Conversations may feel easy, natural, and almost instinctive. You don't have to over-explain yourself because there's an understanding that forms on its own. That kind of connection creates depth. It builds a foundation that goes beyond attraction alone. But what makes this connection truly transformative is the way it affects both of you on an internal level. Your energy is not stagnant. It's evolving, expanding, and constantly moving forward. You don't stay in one place for long, and that in itself has a strong impact on this person. Being around you, or even observing you, makes them reflect. It encourages them to look at their own life, their choices, and the direction they're heading in. You bring a sense of growth into their awareness, whether directly or indirectly. In many ways, you represent a version of what they could become. And that recognition doesn't intimidate them, it inspires them. It pushes them to grow, to elevate, and to align more closely with their own potential. There may have been a time when their life felt predictable, routine, or lacking in inspiration, even if things appeared stable from the outside. Then you enter the picture and something shifts. You bring a sense of freshness into their world. You spark curiosity. You reintroduce excitement. It's not just about attraction. It's about the feeling that something meaningful is now possible again. And perhaps the most powerful part of this connection is the sense of recognition. It's like they see something in you that feels familiar to who they are or who they're becoming. That creates a mirror effect where both of you reflect and influence each other in a natural, almost effortless way. Now their energy is transitioning from passive observation into action. They've taken the time to watch, to understand, to feel things out. But that phase is shifting. There's a growing readiness within them to step forward, to engage, and to make their intentions known. This is no longer about quietly observing from a distance. This is about movement, about reaching out, about making a connection real. When this person does come forward, it won't feel hesitant. It will feel intentional, clear, grounded in purpose. There is a powerful pull toward relationships that are balanced, thoughtfully cultivated, and imbued with deep meaning, a sentiment reflected in the energy of Libra. This is an energy that neither rushes nor forces nor settles for anything superficial or shallow. It gravitates toward what feels right, what feels fair, and what feels reciprocal. And the period associated with this energy suggests that something truly significant may begin precisely when you least expect it, yet at the very moment you are fully prepared for it. But what is truly fascinating is the transformation taking place within you. You are no longer available in the same way you once were. Your standards have become even more refined. Your awareness has deepened significantly. You no longer react to everything indiscriminately. Instead, you observe carefully, discern, and make deliberate choices. This shift alone alters the caliber of people and the type of energy that can reach you. I sense the presence of several zodiac signs here, so interpret this message in the way that resonates most deeply with you. You have evolved into a person who does not merely participate in relationships, but actively nurtures them. And for this very reason, the connections you now attract possess a profound depth. The person gravitating toward you is not interested merely in superficial conversation. They feel drawn to your presence in a way that resonates deeply on both intellectual and emotional levels. There is something in the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you carry yourself, something that draws them in. They do not simply wish to be in your vicinity, they desire to understand you. They want to know your perspective, to experience the inner workings of your mind. Furthermore, this relationship does not feel one-sided or unbalanced. There is a palpable sense of harmony involved, as if two people are meeting on the very same level of awareness. Neither of you feels the need to diminish yourselves or to overcompensate in any way. This connection unfolds far more naturally than you might have expected, as if an unspoken understanding already exists between the two of you. What makes this even more powerful is the sense of perfect timing. It does not feel like something rushed or abrupt. Rather, it feels as though it has arrived at the precise moment when certain essential aspects of your life had already fallen into place. Something had been slowly taking shape behind the scenes, and then, quite suddenly, something opens up, something shifts, and what once seemed distant now begins to draw near. There is an even deeper layer to this. This connection feels intrinsically linked to your personal growth. It is not merely about how you appear on the outside, but about the person you have become on the inside. You have journeyed through your own evolution, your transformations, your realizations, and this process has molded your energy in such a way that it has now become magnetic. Consequently, the person being drawn toward you is not encountering the old version of yourself. They are meeting someone who has already evolved, who has engaged in deep self-reflection, and who has stepped into a stronger, more authentic version of themselves. And it is precisely this quality that generates a distinct level of attraction. Now, in what is being drawn toward you, you will sense a certain solidity. It will feel like something capable of growth, something capable of deepening, and something that does not waver easily. And perhaps most importantly, this is not something you need to chase after, nor is it something you must force into existence. The process is already in motion. Now your role is simply to stay in sync with the person you have now become, because this very thing is what is bringing this connection into your life.